Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We did the hitters. It's time to do the pitchers. They get money, they get paid, they get laid. Let's talk ball. Zach Littel.
I kept secondary lead. That's tough. I watched Jimmy's breakdown.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented by SeatGeek. I am Jake Storielli. That is Trevor Plouffe. We got Max on the ones and twos today. I think Rob's being Dad of the Year today, so we're proud of him. And, I mean, we are hitters, sure, but that means we have to know the pitchers, even better than our fellow hitter brethren. Trevor Plouffe, how are you doing?
Jakey boy, I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk about these pitchers. Again, like the hitters group, I think there's a lot of guys here that can help teams, probably more, again, than I realized were free agents. There's one huge talking point up there in Toronto that I can't wait to pick your brain on. We kind of hit on it before the show a little bit, but I want to get your thoughts on it. But yeah, this is it's always an interesting time because, again, as we go through these lists, every team would like to add some starting pitching. Now, the caveat is, where do these guys end up? Where do they fit the best? Where's a guy like Framber, who's a ground ball pitcher? Where does he fit best? Where does a guy that strikes out a bunch of guys like Dylan Cease? Where does he fit best? Pretty much anywhere. And then I think the next thing we'll have to kind of look at is who's the organization that's like, hey, I like this guy and we can change him, add, subtract from his repertoire. I think that's interesting. I don't know if we even know that information because we do get a lot of pitching coach changes and the organizations, they differ from year to year. But I think all that goes into this. And I don't know if we're going to get to all of that. That's just what's on my mind. I just spewed it out to you.
That was awesome. I love when you spew it out on me. Yeah, man. The pitchers, I don't want to say easier than the hitters, but the hitters feels like it's a domino effect where if you get one hitter wrong, that kind of throws off the whole chart. Because, okay, we both need an outfielder. Well, now they got to go to that outfield. And yeah, just how the blocks fall. Where the pitchers, they're pitchers. Literally every team needs them. And yeah, I think there's probably a still fun game to be played between supply and demand, just like who's playing the numbers game. I laugh thinking about Pavetta's free agency last year where he drifted on. We didn't know if the Padres were in. They went in. He had an amazing year. And yeah, the pitching lab thing, like, dude, I'll be honest with you. I don't normally do this. I don't want to toot my own horn. I watched some of my guy Imai coming over from across the big pond. And it was funny to watch. It's some good intensity. He's got some hair flow like that. And he's got like a nice two-seam fastball. And that the first thing that was running in my head is like, depending which team he signs with, they could change his whole approach. Like they could be like, hey, kid, guess what? We're going to want that to sink more. Or you know what? Why don't we stick with the four-seamer? And it's just crazy the pitching lab world we live in now that we don't really know what's next.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people shy away from that, and we probably will too, because we don't have the arm angles, we don't have the edgertronic camera showing the grips on this pitches, we don't have like the spin data in front of us. That's just not the kind of show we are, people. I'm sure there's a show out there that does. It ain't here. I'm sorry,
guys.
But all that stuff, honestly, if you just went and spent a day, I know it's not nobody can do this, but if you go spend a day out there,
knock on the door
in a bullpen session, you'll see how much these guys are tinkering from a day-to-day basis. So yes, you could say, hey, I want to change this guy. And we think we have, if we have data on him, we think we could do some things until they get him in front of their own cameras and have them throw for them. I think that's when you start seeing the real significant changes. But honestly, again, we're not getting into that right now.
Okay.
It is fascinating, but it's not as, I don't think it's as like, we think some organizations do it really, really well, and they do, but I don't know why. Like, it's not that, like, physics are physics, right? You can't change them. So
keep going.
Like, if you throw from a specific arm angle, like, you're going to be a candidate for these types of pitches. and it's not really going to change without you having to significantly change your arm angle. Does that make sense?
Physics are physics. Physics are physics. I remember how much we heard about kick changes this year. I can't wait to see what the next pitch is. Like that'll be our new pitching lab game. I don't know. I don't think people want that conversation anymore. So
not from us.
That's what we're telling you. This whole convo you're having, you don't want to hear it from us. Go talk to someone else. DM Eno Saris or Trevor May.
Yes. Go. He's got a show. Go check that one out. It's great.
Thanks for listening to our show. If you want to listen to all that we just talked about, go listen to other people. We just like to yuck ball. So let's yuck ball. And Trev, I've got I'll Chris Rosie a little bit after.
Yeah, do it to me.
Off the top. Who is the best free agent starting pitcher available? Because I think it's a loaded question.
That is a loaded question. Because I think coming into the year, I would have said Framber Valdez. I think he's bulletproof, a guy that can pitch in any ballpark, so you don't have to worry about like fly ball rates and how does my park play. Park factor means nothing. He keeps the ball on the ground. You do need to have a good defense, so I guess that does matter. You can't just throw up a 2024 Yankees infield defense with Framber Valdez.
Great.
But I think some of the stuff we heard this year is not going to play well for him in free agency. Look, the numbers are fine. He's put together, a stretch here that you really can't hate it, Jake. But again, the crossing up of the catcher, we've seen some. It means something.
It means something.
When you're going to spend upwards of $200 million on a player, guess what? You don't want a guy that's going to throw the ball at your catcher.
Yeah.
That's the truth, Jake.
That's the truth.
That will hurt him. I don't know how much it'll hurt him. I don't know if that means a couple years off of his free agency contract. Some teams might not give a shit, but I think a lot of teams will. So coming into the year, I would have said Framber Valdez. And now I think you could go a lot of different ways. I mean, it is dependent on need. I think a guy like a Dylan Cease is definitely up there. The swing and miss stuff is there. I know that the ERA wasn't, but the FIP was this year, and that's what teams are analyzing. They're not really basing it on ERA. They have the metrics they like, and Dylan Cease is one of those guys. So I'd probably say overall he's 30 years old right now. I think he's probably my number one guy, and he's really a two-pitch pitcher, and that brings into my mind what's next for him. Because he could change and be a better version of himself if he just adds a pitch here or there. Maybe two pitches. And that's that seems far-fetched, but it's not. So I think I'll go Dylan Cease. But coming into the year, I would have said Framber Valdez without a doubt.
Trev, you can spin in circles around the top here, and it's a few good options. I think the conversation, it's everything you just did with Framber and Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease, I just hit in free agency at the right time matters. That if he had been his Cy Young 2 or his Cy Young 4 year, I think he's the winner. He's got 2 years younger than Framber. It's all the arm talent, all the strikeout stuff that everyone loves. That his free agency is going to be interesting from that regard, but it's going to, when I say pan out, it's going to pan out in a big way. I think for him, it's just going to be very interesting. Does he want the opt-out? Because he's not hitting free agency at the right time. Like that ERA is still what that ERA is. That if he was coming off of a different year. I know you're right. They are projecting in the future more than they ever had. But if Dylan Cease was coming into this free agency with a 2.5 ERA, I think we'd be projecting a bigger number.
Yeah, but it's not projection. It's the fielding independent pitching matters. He had a really high BABIP, so they're not looking at ERA. Not one damn team is looking at his ERA right now.
Rockies? Rockies?
The Rockies might be looking at his ERA. Yeah, you're right. One team. That's messed up, Jake.
Yes. It is, because we're trying to get job opportunity in there. Ottavino, reach out, dog. I don't know. You still have to feel like there's a difference if Cease hit free agency.
I'll give that to you, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. I'll give that to you.
So that's what for his free agency, I'm just going to be interested in how much is he going to push for the opt-out, or if everyone's all in for the 5, 6, 7-year deal for him, does he just care? Does he get close to 200 mil? And that's where I think the two other guys that have to be mentioned off the top, I think there needs to be a Ranger Suarez conversation.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
Like, so what Framber has and Dylan Cease has, durability, dude. Okay, things you pay for. Dylan Cease, since 2021, his minimum starts made in a season is 32. Homeboy takes the pill every 5th day with the best strikeout rate in the major leagues of any starting pitcher last year. So you're right. That is more important than ERA at the end of the day. Framber has a pretty good track record of being out on the field. I don't think it's as impressive as Cease's, but 31, 28, 31, 31 the past 4 years. That's pretty damn good. The only thing where I think Ranger Suarez doesn't have that same argument, he's been banged up every year, but never the bad one. 29 games started, that's 22 in 22. 22 the next year, 27 and 26. That the innings aren't there. The high up-end potential of maybe a Cease isn't there. I'm getting sucked into the postseason stuff a lot, that I do think Framber is going to end up beating him out. But I think whoever does, I just said this doesn't exist with the pitchers. If you're eyeing Framber, you should be eyeing Ranger Suarez in a very similar light.
Versatility of Ranger, I think, is a huge calling card. And as we go through these, and the more and more I look at them, I don't think any of these guys is commanding more than, 5 years tops.
Really?
Yes, I don't. That's what teams want to do anyway with free agent starting pitchers, especially guys that are 30 and above. Like they don't want to go to the 7-year. They don't want that. They just don't. So unless there's a complete crazy bidding war, they're not going to do that. I think 5 years is max. I don't know how many guys are going to get the 5 years. In fact, I think a lot of teams now would rather have the higher AAV over a shorter term. A 3-year with a high AAV, I think they're looking to do that. Now it's can you make the guy accept that? Is the total money going to be there for them? I think Ranger, with the versatility, I like him getting more than a 3-year deal, and we've just seen it so often. You put him on a good team and you make it to the playoffs, like you don't even worry about maybe back-to-back days with him, spot start to a bullpen. Like I think that maybe that's just in my mind because we saw that a lot this postseason. But wouldn't even bat an eye at doing that with him because he's done it.
Trev, you and I mean, we're normally in lockstep. We're brothers. We see the world the same way. I think these guys are getting more than 5 years. I don't know if I'm getting skewed from websites. Like The Athletic has Framber projected for 7. Suarez and Cease, they have them getting 6. That I understand what you're saying, that, yeah, you can juice the numbers AAV-wise, but, hey, if you get that extra year, that's an extra year. That I don't know. They're the top of the class. Like, I guess it's a little too late to do free agency research, but if you're the top pitchers on the market, like, I don't know, 30 years old for Dylan Cease, I think he more so has to make the decision, is he trying to cash out in the next couple years. Framber, I do think, is interesting at 32, and I think the other thing that's interesting is Mountain Dew. Go out and get yourself some Mountain Dew. Thanks to our friends at Mountain Dew for sponsoring this episode. Bold flavors and refreshing citrus kick. Mountain Dew is perfect for any occasion, whether it's beach days, boat day, out on the golf course, going to the ballpark, or just about anything in between. Mountain Dew has been a huge part of our company. If you watch any of our playoff stuff, they were there. The Warehouse, anything we do, they're in on. Because you can do the do when you do what you do. Golfing, playing, hanging, chilling, sipping. Mountain Dew is the perfect pairing. So if that's what you're looking for, go out and grab a Mountain Dew. Trev, I saw you get in your mini research lab.
I'm trying to find like deals for pitchers last year.
So Max Fried got 8 years.
And he was 28.
I think he was 30.
Was he?
Max Fried had a little bit of a better track record. than some of these guys. I think I'm a click away. In 2025, so let's see. We had Max Fried got 8, and Corbin Burns got 6. He went with the higher AAV, but his contract was a little different. He wanted Arizona, and they made that work. Snell was 5. Pivetta was 4. So maybe I guess I trend closer to you now. I think someone is going to get, ironically, 6, 7. But maybe you're right. I guess I expected to see a couple more years in there. And, hey, it's whatever the market provides, that with the CBA looming and these guys. Like Max Fried's track record, I just want to remind everyone, I think if you go from the start of 2020, he had the best ERA of starting pitchers, which then ERA still matters. That, okay, I'm listening a little. Look at us. Conflict leads to resolution. That's how it works.
Right now, Pop. A lot of that, huh?
I don't know about that.
Where else do you want to go here? So we talked about Framber a little bit, some spots that I think he fits. I think Chicago is like an obvious one for him. The infield defense plays there. I think Toronto fits. The infield defense plays there. I mean, those are just obviously the two, like, Milwaukee, they're not going to pony up and spend for a Framber. I don't think.
No.
I've been waiting for them.
They
but I don't
make
think that's
Frambers happen. They take your minor league free agent and they say, we're going to make him an all-star. They don't have to pay Framber. Dude, Toronto, I like that a lot. They had some starting pitchers hit free agency. They just, obviously just went to the World Series, maybe a little extra coin in the bank. And, you got Vladdy there as, kind of your Dominicana leader guy, that any questions you might have about a crossed-up pitch, now everything kind of runs through Vladdy. That is kind of nice to have him as the anchor in the clubhouse there. So I actually really like that fit.
Oh, well, great. Dylan Cease, you got any fits there?
I'll go full unanalytics on you. The Braves need to do something, and they actually have a rotation already on paper that's not too bad. And maybe this is just literally dumb Jake brain, but him and Spencer Strider, like mustache buddies, like velo buddy, feels like they throw, it feels like there's something there. I keep looking for the shake that Atlanta can do. We've been looking for their shortstop forever, and you wonder if they get in the Bo Bichette game. I think he's going back to Toronto. That for me, it would be juicing up that pitching staff, because that was kind of one of the sneakier parts. We got very into that lineup in 2023 when they all mashed, but their pitching was kind of the base level that I think bringing in someone in like a good, well-respected organization, you think if there is more in Dylan Cease, which he's just been an every other year guy, which I don't know what that is. That feels like a Jolly Olive video. But it feels like him, Spencer Strider, there's something there.
Okay. I mean, Framber and Cease, I think, are the and you can throw Ranger in there if you want. I think those are the top 3 guys. Then there's like the Michael Kings, who, he hasn't put together a ton of full years as well. So I think teams balk at giving long-term deals to guys that, although, again, I think in the analytical age, I think there are teams saying like, well, we can keep them healthy and we can do this with them and we can do it. So like, there's always that aspect to it where, hey, somebody might step in and say, we really want this guy. This is our guy. We have him rated above everybody else because of XYZ. I think when you start getting down to that tier, you start having Michael King, and then you talk about like, I don't want to call them reclamation projects, but because they're not. Like Zach Gallen had a tough year this year. So, is he looking for that platform year, one with an option type deal to get his value back up? Or is he just saying, fuck it, I want to get the longest deal possible and cash in however I can? That's always a decision for these pitchers. Brandon Woodruff, a guy that, obviously has not been able to stay healthy. What happens with him is, I think he's another one of those candidates. Prove it year, get my value back up. And in those situations, those are truly the guys that can go kind of anywhere. When you're only having to give up 1, 2, possibly a third option year, like that's where I see pretty much any team can and should be in on these guys.
Yeah, and we've seen those kind of guys, they can make or break a rotation a little bit. Like they end up being an investment, not only the financial side of it, but you're building a roster that, you plan on having 5 guys in your rotation. You plan on having 8, but, one of those guys is your swingman in the bullpen. One of them's your top prospect from AAA. One of them's another prospect that, like, you can't have them all on the team. Like, every year when we come into spring training, it's like, they got 6 starting pitchers. What are they going to do? So you're budgeting out a spot for someone like Woodruff, who, by the way, he has some of the best numbers of a starting pitcher since 2020, but he also has an injury history. He's supposed to be ready for free agency. I think a smart team is going to get on him because, like you said, there's teams that think they can be above the injury or control that, where the high-end pitching ability that him and Mike King has. Remember his 7-inning, 12-strikeout performance?
Dude,
there's few guys in the league that can do that just talent-wise.
Well, Michael King is right. It's pretty spectacular to watch him pitch. Just, what are you going to do as a hitter? Everything is Xing. It's very hard to, track the ball. He tunnels extremely well. And he has, like you said, very games where he's pretty much unhittable.
He can, got to watch a lot of him with the Yankees, was also very nice to us in Talking Yanks. His dad is a news reporter. So Mike King is very good with the media because he was kind of raised around it. So look forward to that if your team signs him and some upside potential. Trev, what if I told you we may have not talked about the starting pitcher that's going to get the most money in this free agency?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, you were doing some research on this guy.
Imai. I'm struggling with the Tatsuya. And again, not to sound as bad Italian American as possible. Tatsuya Imai.
You can say white.
Oh, I can say that? Yeah. That's good. Tatsuya Imai, he's the next guy coming over from Japan. He has the age side working in his favor, which is always an important part of this. 28 years old. If you click around on all these different articles like Trev and I do, because what are we actually doing for a scouting report? The Athletic has him compared to Kikuchi, Senga, Kuroda. These are all guys that were highly successful at the major league level. And again, look at the recent guys we've seen come over, that he's projected to get a real contract. This is from the Athletic, not Jakey Athletic. 8 years, 190. So maybe here's your years guy. And again, because he's on the younger side, I watched a little tape.
Okay.
I gave a partial scouting report. The hair was flowing.
Yes, I've seen the hair.
Yes, so excited about that. He was in between energy and no energy. I actually kind of couldn't get a read on him, but he let it eat a couple times where he was letting out yells and stuff, so I obviously like that. I didn't see the signature pitch. What I saw from Imai was a slider that kind of leaked out and went, instead of right to left, it went straight down. So at first I was wondering if it was a splitter, but no, it was a slider out of the hand that went straight down that looked like a strikeout pitch. All of this is to say, whoever your team's pitching nerds are already discussing what we're going to do with his stuff, but he has the arm talent. And Trev, this conversation would have been hilarious 15 years ago, because we probably would have started off me telling you that I think he's listed 5'10", 154 pounds. But
that's not right.
That's just like Yamamoto, dude.
154?
I believe. Let's double. Okay, we've got a 176 from Max who's checking in. I think I was looking at his Baseball Reference and it had him there. But again, we're changing what we are looking at in some of the pitching market, and this guy, he's going to be one of the biggest stories.
He is, and I'm curious to see if we've seen a lot of Japanese players come over and stay on the West Coast. A team like the San Francisco Giants, obviously a possible suitor for him. A team like the Mariners makes sense with the starting pitching they have. Not really. But again, sometimes you got to look past just the roster and think about dollars and cents and business wise. Again, I've said it on the free agent hitters preview. You should be trying to tap into the Japanese market any way you can, especially if you have a guy that can give you, positives on the field. You want that, yes, but again, the market is something that, as a business decision, you'd want to tap into. Fastball, slider, he throws a split. That's the new in vogue pitch right now. Right. So he checks that box. The age is good there. I think where's he going to go? No clue. It seems to me West Coast is probably where he ends up.
It's the lean.
And I hope that doesn't, I hope it's not always that way, but that's the trend.
Yeah. I mean, there's one guy who's also a free agent that we kind of skip. Well, Senga signed with the Mets. Shota, who's a free agent, who we'll get to in a minute, because that was odd. And maybe we'll talk about weird options in a second. But yeah, and Trev, also the fun part of the offseason that just ran through my head is, okay, let's say Imai is in on Seattle, which there's history there. I don't know, like we've dreamt of that Luis Castillo trade for years. So if you're Seattle and you need corner infield options, okay, Luis Castillo out, you trade for your corner infielder and you sign Imai. Like, that's where the offseason comes together and is a beautiful game. But yeah, this guy might get the top dollar. Everything we did about Ranger, Cease, Framber, and their different concerns. This guy has the age that he's probably going to get the years, and the money is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Can I ask you, I mean, there's a guy that's not a free agent because he opted into his contract.
So I want to talk about the opt-in and the opt-out, brought to you by Shopify, Trev, because as you know, that's kind of what we're doing here. And Shopify is a big part of this company's story. When it was just me and the Jambino dreaming about days when we could potentially work with Trevor Plouffe, we would go check the website after games and be like, oh, what's going on in there? Wait, there's 5 people in our shop right now? Oh, my God. Things have changed a little bit, and so has our website, our new /line site. Go check it out. We brought the ideas to Shopify. They brought the execution, and they have a bunch of tools, AI tools. That's all the rage right now, or just kind of some of the basic stuff. Who's buying and what are they buying? The information you need to know to grow your business. So if you're trying to be like us, start building your brand from the ground up, head over to Shopify, start your trial today. Click the link, Shopify.com/talkin. If you're ready to leave the amateurs and head over to the big leagues. Trev, why don't you tee it up? Because you and I, we can't wrap our heads around this a little bit.
I've wrapped my head around it, and I think I know what the heck is going on. So $16 million he's opting into the Blue Jays. He had a chance to become a free agent. Coming off of injuries, came back for Toronto, looked really, really good at the end of the year and into the postseason. I will mention he did give up the homer to Will Smith to put the Dodgers ahead in the World Series, because you're going to bring that up. So I want to get some context.
That's
there.
How you get ahead of it. I like it.
But this is a shock, dude. I mean, hey, good for you, Blue Jays. That's incredible. This is a below market value deal for a guy that has a potential to give you, a number 2 starter type stuff, possibly number 1. I don't know. Like he looked really, really good with the Blue Jays this year. So it's a shock to me. The only thing that I've started to think about is he's already got to deal with them. Like, I think that's happened. I think that's what it has to have happened already, because there's no way this guy has a chance or had a chance in free agency to earn. I mean, shoot, I don't know the numbers, up to $100 million and probably more, depending on how the cards fell. That is the truth. Let's just say at the very least, this guy just passed up on another $50 to $60 million in guaranteed money to stay with the Blue Jays, a team that he's gotten to know for what, 3 months, Jake? Like, the love affair I get, because you just went to the World Series and, you spent a lot of time together, and Toronto's a beautiful city. The fan base is awesome. It's a great place to play. But you're telling me you passed up that much money for just because you liked it there enough? There has to be something behind the scenes. And in my mind, he's already well into the extension talks with the Blue Jays.
I guess, what does well in mean, Because you have to make a decision to opt in or opt out, and you're still technically a free agent. So I guess, like, they would have to be very close to the finish line to opt in to 1 year.
I think it is. Yes.
Yeah. I guess there's a chance of that, and that's something I haven't thought of, so I won't be defensive, and I'll keep my heart open to it. Because otherwise, you're right. Like, I think worst case, Bieber was expected to get, one of those, like the Giolito, also a free agent, the 1-in-1 opt-out deal that we've seen pitchers get that have some question marks. I think Bieber, having pitched a little bit this year, he threw 7 games, and then in the postseason, I think for him, maybe that gets you up to 3. And if there's a team that really likes Shane Bieber, the former Cy Young winner, all right, now we're getting into that 4-5 range if there's enough teams on it. But I don't know, Coach. It still doesn't make sense.
This is from the MLB Trade Rumors article. I'm looking at it right near. The guaranteed $16 million, that's less than Walker Buehler last year, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Alex Cobb, Charlie Morton, and Sugano. Shane Bieber is a Cy Young winner who came back and looked very, very good at the end of the year. I believe he pitched to a 3.57, your favorite stat.
Nice.
Made good postseason starts. It's let's just say the situation is Bader. It's hairy.
We're missing a detail. I am from the school of I'm more than just numbers. When I gave the Imai scouting report and I started with his hair, that's okay. That's kind of how I'm viewing the game. I don't know, Trev. I don't know Shane Bieber. He won the Cy Young, shortened season, spent all of his time and career in Cleveland up until that point. And then he comes over, traded to Toronto while he's still hurt. And we're debating all the pressures of this. And is he even going to pitch? Like, he's one setback away on a minor league rehab from not pitching this year. And, that's it. Instead, he gets involved. He's a big part of the postseason. And then, unfortunately, just because one team had to lose, he gives up the final run on the Will Smith homer. I don't know. I think there could be a recipe where, let's say he likes Toronto, which we've
of course he likes Toronto. Yeah,
great city. And let's say there's more than that. Like, let's say he really loved the training staff as he's coming back from Tommy John. They went on a World Series run. Like, that still matters. And I don't know what kind of competitor he is, but my God, I saw the Jeff Hoffman press conference after the game where Jeff Hoffman was like, I just lost this whole group of guys the World Series. I bet Shane Bieber is thinking those things, even if not. Now, I realize we're talking about a lot of money. But let's say Shane Bieber's market was more of the 2-year opt-in, opt-out kind of deal. Is it nuts to think well, fuck it. I'll throw 1 year in Toronto, 16 mil. I want to do it with these guys. I love this city. I'll get my contract after next year. I don't think that's nuts.
It is nuts because you could just say, it is nuts.
It is a little nuts.
You could just say, I'm opting out. Re-sign me. Give me 20. Boom. You just made $4 million extra dollars because you said no to
more money, more problems, Trev. You know this.
I'm sorry.
My silver stock is taking off right now.
It's the same as buying Bitcoin. You sent me that article.
Yeah. Shout out someone.
Listen,
someone DM that to me on Instagram, and it's an Insta post that says silver is the new Bitcoin. So I sent that to Trev. So thank you.
No financial advice. Except for this, don't do that if you're in that position again. Who's this guy's agent? I got to look it up now.
Okay, we're on Bieber agent watch.
That's why I'm saying there's stuff happening behind the scenes. His agent is Rosenhaus Sports Representation. Is that Drew Rosenhaus?
Is that Drew Rosenhaus? I feel like he was always in the football scene.
Yeah.
He was repping every QB. Laguna guy, Cali.
Great. Dude, this guy's awesome. He's great, and I'm happy for Toronto. And, if he's happy, I'm happy. I'm just saying, it smells fishy, Coach. Throw a line in the water. It smells fishy.
Well, so the other opt-in, opt-out I wanted to talk out was Shota Imanaga. Shota with the Cubbies, who, when this guy came on the scene, we were like, who is this MFing dog, dude? Not scared of anyone. Shoved in the WBC, shoved with the Cubbies. Him and Steele kind of became this like sick 1-2 lefty punch. Got hurt. Felt like he kind of ran out of juice, but okay, the pitchers you just named, the Cubs declined his option, and I want to make sure I get this right, and I don't think I will. He had 2 years left to extend his contract through 2028.
3 years, $57 million. That was the deal the Cubs turned down.
Yes.
So then it became a player option at a $15 million deal for 2026.
So Shota,
and he turned that down.
Turned down 1 year 15, which makes sense. You just named the list of guys that got 1 year 15, and Shota is held in a higher regard in that. This year, he still threw 25 starts to a 3.73 ERA, which isn't what it was the year before, and there was some regression and a lot of homer ball.
At the back end of the year, it was not good. The results were very, very poor for Shota, and even in the postseason, they shied away from him because they were afraid of the results. So my initial reaction was pretty strong to this, saying like, man, if you're the Cubs, like this seems like a deal again, like with the going rate of starting pitching and the success that he had there prior to the end of last year, it kind of made sense, or it didn't make sense to me that they would do this. But they could be looking to just reallocate that money. They don't want to, I believe he's 32 now.
He's 32, yeah.
Okay. And maybe they're saying, look, yeah, we think he's a good pitcher, but we can reallocate that $57 million maybe to go get a Framber, who we think is going to age a little bit better, who's had better results. And if that's the case, I'm okay with it. If they're going to reallocate it to another starting pitcher, I like it. It was just a little bit of a shock, I think, initially. But I've come around to the idea of that. But I do think there's teams that are going to be, some team's going to sign him, and I think they'll be happy.
Yeah, I guess, thinking about the conversation we just had, and let's see where Framber's number lands. Let's see where Rangers' number lands. Like, could Shota outpitch those guys for one season? Could that Shota outpitch those guys for 2 seasons? So I was a little surprised by that one. I think you're right. I think the Cubbies like what they do pitching-wise. Like, Matt Boyd was fantastic this year. Again, I don't know the line between the Cubbies and Matt Boyd, but also, like, what the effort they got out of Colin Ray, like Brad Keller going to the bullpen. They have a little bit of a pitching track record now that I think you're right. I think they played the money reallocation game. I guess for me, if I was a Cubs fan, I'm nervous that they're going to go with more of an Orioles parceled out approach. Like, they think they could bring in 2 arms for the price of Shota that can pitch at his level, where I don't know they can do that. And I don't know if you can predict baseball that way.
Shota's heater just got crushed this year. That was a big problem. It was down a little bit more than a mile an hour. So again, like, if you're a team that's like, well, we can fix that. Like, we can manipulate the body.
Trev, I have such good news for you.
Okay.
Because this haunts you every episode. Because you're like, well, free agency was made that if you're a good team and you have a hole or two, you use free agency to plug those holes. That's all we're about.
Okay.
What's a team, maybe in the Cubs division, that if a player's value is down and they can tap into velo a little bit and twist the knife when they want to?
I don't know if they go there with it.
Grab a beer.
Well, what's the cost? Because that's always going to be, what they're thinking as well.
They gave Quintana.
They like velo, though. They like velo.
Yeah, they also liked Quintana to the tune of 24 starts this year. So
yeah, but he made $4 million this year.
Yeah, it was with a weird option contract. Well,
that's the difference. If they can get Imanaga for $4 million, yeah, but they're not going to pay. He just turned down 15. Yeah, they're not going to pay $20 million.
You're right.
For him.
You're right. I got excited. Man, that mutual option for 15 mil next year, I don't think that's getting picked up. And I heard that the last mutual option picked up was 2014, I believe. I'll get Jakey research.
Well, they just put it in the players' hands every single time? Or the players like, no?
Well, to have both sides agree instantly on the price tag again is really tough. I did a bad job looking it up. Okay, great stuff, Jake. All right, I think it's time to start chewing through.
We got to name some names. Jack Flaherty, he exercised his player option, goes back to the Tigers. I think he really likes it there, has had success. It's $20 million. I texted him yesterday saying, $20 million next year? Sheesh.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
So these are...
Hey, Jack, guess what? You're buying me dinner for forever now.
Forever.
That's me. The time of me buying you dinner is past.
It was a good run.
It's a good run. It was me, you, Lucas Giolito, Max Fried. All of you motherfuckers are buying me dinner now.
Well, speaking of, so these are...
Sorry about that.
We maybe should have done this earlier. Guys who are expected to... and the qualifying offer comes out... We're recording this at 4 p.m. It comes out at 5. So, but I think we're pretty good on it. Like, Bo Bichette. So, of the pitchers, Dylan Cease, Edwin Diaz. We haven't gotten to relievers yet. Zach Gallen is a little interesting. We'll get there. Lucas Giolito. Michael King, potentially, Ranger Suarez, and Framber Valdez. A couple other the maybes pitching-wise. Zach Eflin, that would be an interesting one coming off a tough year, but he's got some nice stuff there. Brandon Woodruff. So we'll see how that plays out. And Travis,
I love that for the Brewers.
Yeah?
What's the drawback? Off from the qualifying offer, he says, yes, great, you got him on a 1-year deal.
Right. Yeah. I think they do.
I'm a huge off of the qualifying offer guy.
I think it's a matter of I think he would turn it down. I think Brandon would.
Great. Right. And then you get a draft pick.
And then it's Sal Frelick.
Exactly.
Trev,
last mutual option to be picked up, Aramis Ramirez with the Brewers, $14 million in 2015.
Oh, slugger.
Love that. Hot corner.
Speaking of a guy that went Cubs Brewers.
It was you. It was me. It was Aramis Ramirez. Who went Cubs Brewers?
Isn't that what we just said?
Aramis. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you had a pitcher. Let's start chewing through. I'm gonna start reading some names because we've got some innings eaters here. I feel like we should talk Gallen a little bit. Zach Littel threw a $186 this year. That matters. Merril Kelly threw a $184. Chris Bassitt, we just saw him. Nick Martinez. Who else are we looking at here? Lucas Giolito. I guess in that range, who's jumping out to you?
Just saw Chris Bassitt dominate in the playoffs. I think whenever you see something like that as an organization, like I want that guy. He just pitched in the highest leverage spots possible, and he came out looking great. So there's the experience. There's there's no fear in him, multiple different roles he could fill. I think that he's a guy that's going to I think he won himself a lot of money during the postseason. I don't know if that adds an extra year or not. Probably not, but it definitely gets him some more dollars. He's interesting to me. I got to see Zach Littel pitch a lot in Minnesota. He's a Minnesota former guy. Like him as well. A lot of these guys are rotation fillers that you just mentioned, the guys that you want to put in your 3 or 4 spots. I'd expect them to be in the 2 years, probably somewhere between 20 to 25 a year guys. And then, you throw them 30-year option or something like that, the mutual option that doesn't get picked up. But those guys are going to make significant money. And those are guys that I think a lot of teams could and should be in on.
Yes. I mean, I was trying to, again, Jakey fake research, like Toronto and LA, the two teams that went to the dance this year, like they have a lot invested in their pitching staff. The Dodgers obviously stand out, but also like, Jose Barrios is on that Toronto team and wasn't involved in the mix, and he got a big contract by the end. Like Scherzer, Bassitt, like both of those teams invested a lot in the pitching. That these $25 million, whether it's innings eatings or like Merril Kelly, man, like the season he ended up having, that him and Bassitt are probably going to get themselves like nice 2-year deals or something because they were gross this year.
Zach Littel to the Braves
has some Braves energy. I see what you're saying.
I kind of like that.
Just some innings coming at you.
I think a lot of teams were like not even thinking about like the Nationals. Like Zach Littel will be a great national.
Right. They're hunting for innings.
a guy that, has experience, can be a veteran in that clubhouse, not going to cost you a ton. You can get him 3 years. 3 years, 60 gets him.
Nationals
And
just hit a trigger for me. Because
what's that?
I know we just kind of talked about him. Of that group, and I'm looking at like, okay, if those guys are landing in similar areas, I probably, you have to make a choice, right? Do I want the guy that's like locked in for innings that I'm going to get my 180, but the ERA is probably going to be 3.7, something like that. Dude, I think Giolito has another gear. And how about the team that drafted him? A little Giolito homecoming?
Okay.
Give the Nats. And what I liked from Giolito this year, he got off to a slow start, and then the light bulb went on. His final 19 games, 111 innings, he had a 2.51 ERA. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Lucas Giolito can be a 1-2 for 4 months of the season. He might have what if he has a full season? Like, he has potentially that kind of stuff in him that, with respect to those other guys, they're going to give you nice performances. I don't think they have the upside that I think Giolito could still tap into.
I could see that. I like that. I
Kinda
don't know about
nice,
going back
right?
to the Nationals. I got a Brewer for you.
Okay.
Guy throws hard, kind of a
Hunting for them.
different arm angle. Is going to only cost you probably a 1-year deal.
Redheaded?
He's redheaded.
Nice.
Yeah, Dustin May.
Yeah. A team's going to pay for him,
Every team
dude.
should be after Dustin May. It's cheap, and the upside to him is
Bro, he's getting
that of a 2.
He's getting the 1 year with the option. Frankie Montas got that. Like, Dustin May, if you're a pitcher that has his arm talent, it's good to be a free agent.
He hasn't had a healthy offseason. So He's going into this offseason healthy, and that means a lot. Being able to lift and get your strength ready for the year is paramount to getting through 162. Let this guy have a full offseason. Some of the stuff ticks back up because it was down this year. Stuff ticks back up, and then you're looking at a huge bargain with a chance to ship him off because he can pitch as a reliever too.
Let's close off the starting pitchers. We'll just read some names on the way out that might get you excited for your team. Maybe you can't go fishing for all the 25 million guys. There's still value to be had out there, and there's still value to be had on SeatGeek. Our friends at SeatGeek. Baseball's over, folks. You know it, and we know it, and that's okay. But the NFL is in full swing, Matthew. NBA and NHL are ramping up, and SeatGeek, MLB's official ticket marketplace, also has tickets for these and concerts and whatever has a seat at it. 28 million downloads, the #1 rated ticketing app. So whatever you like to go to, wherever you like to go, if they have a seat, SeatGeek probably has you covered. Green means good, red means bad. You know how to use the app. And we're coming through with the deal as always, folks. Talkin' 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. 10% off any tickets with promo code Talkin'10. Okay, Coach. Let me. Zach Eflin. I'm just gonna throw him out quick. He had a rough year this past year, but before that, he was becoming like a very steady 3-man in this league. I think whatever team ends up with him is going to be happy. I guess I have him and Tyler Mahle in a similar bucket. Like, they have a bit more upside with a little bit of risk there.
Tyler Mahle rhymes with rally.
You hate
that's
that.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, Tyler. Nick Martinez. He's got that swing ability, and someone will be probably into tapping into his year before that. Senor Puke, Adrian Hauser. Hello, like that a lot. Max Scherzer and Verlander. I don't know. Have a spring training. Invite those two dudes to town. You want to teach your young pitcher something?
Is Scherzer coming back? You look damn good.
Send him a text.
Hey, Max.
He's not in there.
No,
if you needed to text,
he's not in the Rolodex.
Okay, fun game for me and the people. If you needed to send a text to Max Scherzer, who do you text?
Ooh, who do I know that played with Max Scherzer that I could just send a text really quick to? I'd have to think about that.
Yeah. Did him and Flaherty ever line? No.
No.
Gibby knows everyone, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. Gibby for sure knows him.
Okay.
Missouri dudes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it'd be
Okay.
Gibby. That's a good one. Way to think of that one. Yeah.
Thanks, Pop.
Scherzer said after Game 7 that I just don't see how that's the last pitch I've ever thrown.
Okay, so he's back. I'd like to announce that officially. And Verlander good in the stretch with those Reeboks on. Give me the old dogs.
God, just the Reeboks are in the closet of his house collecting dust.
Just ready to go.
How about Jace Tingler going to the Giants? We didn't even talk about that. We should do a whole episode on it.
When do we talk about that? I'm always excited the guy's coming back. Anthony K is coming over from the NPB. Cody Ponce. He's coming back. Let's see what they've worked on. Herman Marquez is out of Colorado. Congrats. And then, yeah, we're starting to Sagano, Walker Buehler. God, how quickly has that changed? Nestor Cortez, Wade Miley for Dalton, John Gray, Alex Cobb. Any other starters? I want to give a kiss to the relievers on the way out as well.
I think we touched on most of them.
Let us know who you guys want.
Everyone.
Let us know who's a great fit for your team. Let's do some relievers because you're going to see some bags out there. Because Edwin Diaz is a free agent, and it's projected he's kind of going to be in that hater range a little bit. Only because I think he had an ERA that started with a 1 this year. I'll double check, but I believe that's right. 1.63, pretty damn good. So Edwin is kind of the prize reliever. The other, Robert Suarez, is kind of toe-to-toe with him. He's 35 years old, sneaky. So maybe not the length, but probably the same amount, which is what I always say it's all about. And then it's kind of interesting. It was supposed to be Devin Williams and Helsley that were like leading the way a little bit. Both of them coming off weird years a little bit that they're still going to get paid, but just interesting how their market develops.
Yeah, Raisel Iglesias, another one. Emilio Pagan had a great year. So what do you do with that? And again, it's really tough at this point of the season to be like, or this point in the off season, be like, oh, no, this team needs a closer. This team needs that. It's a lot of teams are going to be in on these guys. Just depends on who they move, what kind of money they open up, and hard to make predictions here. But this, again, I said it with the hitters. I think there's a nice crop of like top tier relievers that are going to be available for teams this year.
Yeah, and there's fun guys in here, man. Luke Weaver.
Emilio Pagan pitched to a .92 whip in Cincinnati.
Right. Tough ballpark. Luke Weaver kind of had his reliever breakout on the Yankees. He's a free agent now. Brad Keller did the same thing with the Cubbies, kicked to the bullpen and was lights out.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him on some websites projected for 3 years, 30. Okay, Brad. It's good to be a pitcher sometimes. Your lefties. We're always looking for lefties. Coach Trev, did you know Sean Newcomb had a nice year? That's good. Let's see. Who do we got? Caleb Tealbar, Gregory Soto, Danny Colomb.
Taylor Rogers.
DrewPalm.com is doing it still. Just getting paychecks. The reliever version of Cole Hamels.
Okay, let's do this before we hit the road here. Like, who's the team, like, the most glaring need for a closer?
Okay, knee-jerk thinking out loud for the people. I jumped to the Texas Rangers. Like we did that last year. They never really brought a guy in.
Phillies?
They got your guy, Duran.
That's right. Oh, my God, I forget about that. I just was thinking about Kirkring in that game. Like, why wasn't somebody in? But that was okay. Yeah, that
already happened.
Great call. And Alvarado's back.
Yeah.
Okay, bad call by me.
It's okay. It was a good call by you. Jordan Montgomery's a free agent. Wow. How about this, Trev? I've got a fun one that I'll send us out on because the reliever game is so funny, but it's brought to you by a new JM update. That's cricket, people. If you're in our John Boy Media world, you know where Jimmy's been with cricket. You know that I competed in a cricket tournament this year. It's been a big part of our warehouse. We brought on a cricket creator, Adam Bannon. Make sure you go check him out. And they have a massive tournament coming up, the Ashes. It's England versus Australia. Hey, if you've never given it a shot, give it a shot. We're going to be putting out some fun content. That's Cricket on YouTube. We're going to have the socials going. Liam Plunkett, handsome, tall, former stud cricket player. He's involved with us. We're in on this. It's fun. I guess if you like baseball, give it a chance. And it's very funny to see the parts of the world that have baseball don't have cricket. The parts of the world that have cricket don't have baseball. That it's funny that they're kind of each other's like shadow sports. So go check it out. That's Cricket if you like John Boy Media.
Cubs are a huge team. We just talked about Brad Keller. They kind of pieced together that bullpen during the postseason. Cubs is a team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, I think they really like what they can do pitching recipe-wise. Like, think about the names we just said. Brad Keller, Drew Pomeranz. Like, I think they believe in what they do. It'd be very interesting to see if they get in on a high-end guy. Yeah.
The World Series champions need a closer.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Dude, it was so funny looking at the Dodgers bullpen, and like Brewstar is plugged back in for next year, and so is Scott. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
I mean, those guys could be the answer right there.
Bullpen looks elite again. How about this, Trev? To send the people out, because this is what they're here for. Give me one reliever and one team.
Oh my God.
I know. This isn't
Edwin Diaz and the Giants.
Oh, okay. Wow, you went deep sea fishing there. Give me.
Ooh, Edwin Diaz and the Red Sox.
Okay, so you just audibled your one pick.
Either one of those teams.
Your one pick. I'll get gross. Pierce Johnson to the Red Sox. So we just got the Red Sox two relievers. Edwin Diaz and Pierce Johnson. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun. Give us your predictions below.
Also, Tarek Skubal gonna get traded.
Yeah.
Didn't even talk about that.
I hate that.
It's not really a free agent episode, but
that's so dumb. Impending
free agency is gonna force him into a trade.
That's so dumb. Maybe we'll talk some trades coming up. Maybe we won't. We got a lot coming up on Talking Baseball. We love you guys as we ease into the off season. Pitchers. Yeah.
Edwin Diaz to the Tigers.
You just keep picking teams for him.
Well, I want to see him go somewhere that, truly needs a guy.
How about the Mets?
Aroldis Chapman not a free agent?
No, they extended him mid-season.
That's right. Those two guys, Diaz and Chapman in the back end, love that.
Why not?
Red Sox it is.
And Pierce Johnson, slider.